So today we're going to be looking at international cities, and I'm going to be deciding which of the ones I think that are the best and which I think aren't as good. Now, of course, do keep in mind this is only my opinion. Each city has their own things that make them special, and their own things that don't make them so good. This is only what I believe. Everybody thinks something different. So we're going to start off first with the capital, China, Beijing. So right off the bat, it's a pretty high tech and futuristic city, I would say. I really enjoy how modern it is, so I think I'm going to give that straight off the bat an A tier. Next, we have Berlin, a very historic site. And here on the channel, we of course enjoy history, so I think I'm going to put that there. Next, we have Bogota, Colombia. Now, I know Colombia isn't really the best of places, and especially the capital city, but I do enjoy the architecture there. But overall, I think that's gonna be a B tier for me. Next, we have Cairo, Egypt. Now, of course, most cities, or almost all cities, or where people live, is going to be on in the Nile in Egypt because it's a desert, except for that. But of course, just like Berlin, history is always enjoyed. Cairo has a lot of history and just interesting architecture and archaeological stuff to see. And also, I believe that Egypt is going to move their capital city to something else. But I don't know what it is. But of course, Cairo is going in S tier. Next, we have Cape Town, South Africa. It's quite the beautiful town from what I've been seeing. They've got a lot of exotic animals there, like turtles, and I think maybe even penguins. And I really enjoy the water. I like how like the whole thing is like built like super close to the ocean. I know most cities are capital cities are by the ocean, but this is like right at the beach. I really enjoy that. I think I'm gonna give this an A tier. Next we have Dubai, city of the future. Very luxurious and expensive, but it's kind of for that reason. I think I'm gonna give it like a D tier. I don't know. I just don't really like how expensive it all is and very strict, I would say. Next is Havana, a city I would describe stuck in the 50s. As you can even see with this picture, there's like that old timey car, but I think it adds some kind of charm to it, something a little lovable about it. But I think overall I'm going to give it to a C. Next, we've got Hong Kong. You can view it as a city or as a country. Hong Kong and Macau on the south side of China. I believe they're fighting for their independence or just like want to be separated from China. But overall, I think it's a pretty solid city. I'm going to give it a good B tier. I'll give it top of the B tier. Houston, Texas, home of the Houston Rockets and other sports teams. I don't really know that much. I just know like the Houston Rockets. I would say it's a pretty normal city. You know, you got a few skyscrapers, people live there. Overall, I'm just gonna give that a B tier. Istanbul. It's in Europe, the European part of Turkey, and I think, once again, it's just a pretty normal city. I would say a little. I'll give it A tier because once again, we are a history channel, and that's always good. Lagos. Um, it's It has a lot of cool stuff about it, I would say. It's very diverse, which I think is cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it right a B tier. It's the capital of Nigeria. Lima, Peru. Peru's an interesting place. I think of all the South American countries, I think that would be probably one of the ones I would want to visit the most. And I think it earns itself an A tier. London, capital of the UK and England. I feel like it's one of those cities that's just over overused. I would say it's very famous, and I think that just kind of drags it through the dirt. So I'm gonna give it a C tier. Los Angeles, I feel like it's gonna be the same treatment with London. It's like basically the same thing. Madrid, on the other hand, I feel like it's good. It's the capital city that people really know, but it's not one that's like overused in movies and other forms of media. So I think I'm gonna give this one an S tier. I really think that's a good place. Melbourne, Australia, not the capital. The capital is Canberra. I think it's pretty good. I really like the modern take and feel to it. I think that's going to be an A tier for me. Mexico City, capital of Mexico. I feel like it's a similar situation as Colombia, so I feel like that's where I'm going to put it. Next, we got Montreal, Canada, the first city from Canada that we're seeing. It's on the border with the USA, of course, because that's where most cities are. It's a typical city like Houston, but I think overall I'll give it. I'll put it in B tier with Houston. Next we have Moscow, one of the two places you can live in Russia. If you want to live in Russia, you have either St. Petersburg or Moscow. And I really like the architecture and just the snow and just everything about it is pretty cool. Now I've got Mumbai, India. I think honestly it's going to be one of the first F tiers because just all the pollution and it's so crowded. And speaking of which, I think New York is also going to join it down there. It's for the similar reasons. Fun fact, New York City has more rats than people. And rats aren't even from the Americas, they're from Europe, which is kind of insane. Next, we got Paris, the city of love. And I'm going to have to give this a C tier for like all the similar reasons Los Angeles and London are down there. Rio de Janeiro, the place of the 2016 Olympics in Brazil. I think it's generally a very beautiful place. I think deserving an A. Rome. Rome is very close to the C tier because like it's like dragged through the dirt, being so famous and it's tiring seeing it all. But like, is this the history part of it? I think it's gonna bump it up to an A tier. Next, we have Santiago, the capital of Chile. You don't really hear much about this capital city. There are some like that you hear a lot about, and this one that's really left out. And I think the mountains are very nice. They're beautiful, I would say. So I'm going to give that a B tier. Sao Paulo, I believe this is also in Brazil. I think just straight away, I'm going to give this a C tier. Never got Seoul. It's super crowded there. You're not like there's no way. Shanghai, the other big city in China, once again, similar to Beijing, super futuristic, and I enjoy that. And hey, here it is, St. Petersburg. It's very similar to Moscow, but I think Moscow is just a little bit better, so I'm going to give that A tier. Sydney, the old capital of Australia, I believe, with the famous Sydney Opera House. I think I'm going to give that a C tier. Tokyo. In recent times, I feel like everybody's been traveling to Tokyo. Like so many YouTubers and personally people I know have been going to Tokyo a lot. Overall, I think I'm going to give this. I'm going to do a B tier. And finally, Toronto, just another normal city. Gonna join all the other ones over there. And well, that's it. This is my tier list. I of course appreciate you for taking time out of your day to watch my video. And I do, of course, hope that you enjoyed watching this. And of course, remember, this is only my opinion. Of course, I'm not here to offend anybody. As for next week's video, I don't know what I'm going to do, but this is going to be a fantastic week. It's the start of a new month and a start of new opportunities for you. Bye.